Hey Dad Warriors! Welcome back to Biohack Dad, your go-to spot for battling the dadbod with a dash of humor and a lot of heart. Today we're slicing through the myths and carving out the truths about losing belly fat without turning your life into a salad-only zone. Let's talk about Mike, our friendly neighborhood every dad. He's in his 40s, loves a good weekend barbecue, and yes, he's battling the belly bulge that seems to have crept up on him over the years. Mike's journey isn't just about losing weight, it's about finding balance in the chaos of dad life. Imagine Mike grilling in the backyard, kids playing around, him with a beer in hand. Life's good, but so are the portions. Over time, Mike's favorite pair of jeans started to feel like a leg trap. The challenge? How to lose that belly without losing the joy of eating. Through our tips today, we'll see how Mike tackles these challenges without giving up his favorite foods or his sanity. From smarter grocery shopping to getting sneaky with fibers and proteins, we'll make sure you're equipped to handle your love handles just like Mike. Before we get into this video about losing that belly fat without crazy restrictions, make sure to check out that link in the description for one of my best recommendations on how to lose weight fast. Make sure to check out that link, and now let's get straight into the video. Ready to dive in and help Mike and you turn those burgers into better habits? Let's get started with tip number 1 and kick those cravings to the curb. Let's kick things off with our first game changer, cutting down on high sugar foods. Sugar, while delicious, is the sneakiest culprit behind that stubborn belly fat. Imagine Mike at his weekend barbecue, reaching for another soda. It's easy, it's sweet, and let's be honest, it's addictive. But here's the twist. Mike decides it's time for a change. Instead of soda, he grabs a sparkling water with a squeeze of lime. Small swap, big impact. As Mike starts to cut back on sugary treats, he faces the challenge of those 3 p.m. sugar crashes. Instead of reaching for cookies or energy drinks, he begins packing fruit and nuts for that afternoon slump. It's tough at first. His taste buds rebel, craving the quick sugar fix. By replacing sugary snacks with healthier options, Mike doesn't just reduce calories, he changes his palate, gradually desiring less sugar. It's about retraining your taste buds to enjoy natural sweetness from fruits, making those processed sweets less appealing. Remember, Dad Warriors, this isn't about cutting out all joy in your life. It's about smarter choices that keep you feeling great, not just for a moment, but for the long haul. Feeling ready to tackle more? Let's move on to tip number 2 and keep building on our good habits. Take a stroll around the perimeter of the grocery store. Ever notice how the freshest, least processed foods are on the outside aisles? That's where you want to be. Here's Mike on his weekly grocery run. Instead of diving into the center aisles where cookies and chips call his name, he sticks to the outside, grabbing fruits, vegetables, lean meats, and dairy. It's like circling the bases in a baseball game, hitting all the healthy stops before heading home. With a cart full of good choices, Mike encounters a challenge. His old favorite, a sugary cereal from the middle aisle, beckons. But he remembers his commitment and moves on, opting for oatmeal from the perimeter instead. It's a small victory, but these add up. Shopping the perimeter is about filling your cart with whole foods. Those items that haven't been heavily processed or loaded with unnecessary sugars and fats. It's about seeing the grocery store as a map to better health. And just like Mike, you might find it tough at first to bypass those old favorites, but the perimeter is your path to success. You're not just shopping, you're investing in your health, one aisle at a time. Got your grocery game plan ready? Great, let's check out tip number 3 and learn how to make those smart choices even smarter. It's time to focus on single ingredient foods. What's a single ingredient food, you ask? It's simple. It's any food that is what it is. Think apples, chicken, beef. No hidden extras, just pure unadulterated food. Back at the grocery store, our hero Mike is eyeing the products. Instead of grabbing a box of flavored rice mixes, he opts for sweet potatoes. Instead of processed meats, he picks up fresh salmon and ground beef. It's about getting back to the basics of eating well. As Mike fills his kitchen with these basic building blocks, he faces the challenge of making tasty meals from scratch. Initially, it's more time-consuming, and he misses the convenience of meals ready to eat. But he tries it with herbs and spices, discovering that real flavors are much more satisfying. Single-ingredient foods give you control over your diet. You're not just eating healthier, you're also becoming a smarter consumer, sidestepping the extra sugars and junk that processed foods sneak into your diet. Mike learns that cooking with these ingredients isn't just healthier, it's also incredibly rewarding. He feels better, and hey, his cooking skills have skyrocketed. A win for the entire family. Ready to level up your culinary skills and keep trimming that waistline? Let's spice things up with tip number 4 and keep those flavors coming without the calories. Stepping into tip number 4, let's tackle a sweet but sneaky villain: added sugars. It's everywhere, hiding in places you'd least expect, like your yogurt, bread, and even that healthy granola bar. Imagine Mike scanning labels at the store. He's become a label-reading ninja, dodging added sugars like he dodges those unexpected Legos on the living room floor at night. It's not just about avoiding sweets. It's about knowing what's really in your food. Armed with his new knowledge, Mike faces the temptation of a flavored yogurt marketed as a health food. He checks the label, shockingly high sugar content. Instead, he opts for plain Greek yogurt, adding his own fresh berries for flavor. It's a small choice that makes a big difference. By avoiding added sugars, Mike doesn't just cut calories, he cuts out spikes in his blood sugar, which are the real culprits behind those energy crashes and belly fat buildup. This isn't about giving up sweetness, it's about getting smart with how you sweeten your life. Mike's secret? He starts to enjoy the natural sweetness of foods more, appreciating flavors he never noticed when his palate was overloaded with sugar. Now that we've sweet-talked our way out of added sugars, let's dive into tip number 5 and discover how staying hydrated can be a game changer in your fight against belly fat. We're diving into the essence of life itself, water. Staying hydrated isn't just about quenching thirst. It's a core strategy in your battle against the bulge. Here's Mike, who used to reach for either soda or beer to wash down meals. But he's making a change, swapping out sugary drinks for crystal clear water. It sounds simple, but the impact? Legend. With a water bottle now always at his side, Mike notices he doesn't feel as hungry as often. Those mid-afternoon cravings, they start to wane. He realizes he was often mistaking thirst for hunger, a common trap that was padding his waistline. By increasing his water intake, Mike not only feels fuller but also boosts his metabolism slightly. Every sip helps flush out toxins, support his organs, and yes, even improve his skin. Who knew being hydrated could make you look younger? And let's not forget, water is the ultimate prep tool for workouts. Hydrated muscles perform better, recover faster, and burn more fat. So, Mike is not just losing weight, he's gaining strength and endurance. Got your water bottle handy? Good. Stay hydrated as we move on to tip number 6 and pump up the protein to power through belly fat. Muscling our way into tip number 6, let's talk about protein, your dietary heavy lifter when it comes to losing belly fat and building strength. Mike's next move on his health journey is boosting his protein intake. Why protein, you ask? It's not just for bodybuilders. Protein helps keep you feeling full longer, supports muscle repair and growth. And yes, it even helps burn fat by increasing your metabolic rate. Incorporating more protein into his diet, Mike starts noticing he's snacking less between meals. Breakfasts have switched from sugary cereals to omelets loaded with veggies. And his dinners feature more lean meats and beans. It's a change that fills him up and keeps the energy lasting longer. By ramping up his protein, Mike isn't just battling belly fat, he's setting the stage for all-day energy. Protein-rich meals prevent those blood sugar spikes and crashes that used to send him raiding the snack drawer. Plus, the extra protein helps ensure that as Mike loses weight, it's fat he's shedding, not muscle. Muscle mass is crucial for keeping your metabolism high. It's like your body's built-in furnace, burning calories, even when you're just lounging. Feeling fuller already? Great, let's keep that momentum going as we step into tip number 7, where we spice things up to keep your meals exciting and your metabolism revving. Spicing up your meals isn't just about flavor, it's a hidden strategy for burning belly fat. Mike discovers the power of spices and how they can transform not just the taste of food, but also how his body digests and utilizes it. For example, adding a dash of cayenne pepper to his morning scrambled eggs, or a sprinkle of cinnamon on his oatmeal. With his new spice rack arsenal, Mike begins to experiment. Each meal becomes an adventure. He notices that not only do his meals taste better, but he also feels more satisfied afterward. Plus, the thermogenic properties of certain spices help increase his metabolism, subtly enhancing fat burn without extra effort. Spices like turmeric and ginger aren't just great for flavor, they also reduce inflammation and boost digestion. This means Mike is not only eating healthier, but feeling better too. It's a full circle effect that supports his overall fitness goals. And let's not forget, keeping your diet interesting is crucial to sticking with it long term. No one wants to eat bland chicken and broccoli every day. By mastering the art of seasoning, Mike keeps his taste buds happy and his belly fat disappearing. Now that our meals are spiced to perfection, let's dive into tip number 8, where we tackle hydration from a new angle to keep those fat-burning engines running smoothly. We're not just drinking water anymore, we're infusing it with a twist to keep hydration interesting and beneficial. Hydration is key, but let's be honest, sometimes water can be a little boring. Mike, who used to rely on sodas for a flavor kick, starts experimenting with infused waters. It's simple. He adds slices of fruits, veggies, and herbs to his water jug. Not only does it make hydrating more enjoyable, but these additions also pack a punch of antioxidants and vitamins. As Mike adds these flavor bursts into his daily routine, he notices he's reaching for his water bottle more often than before. The subtle flavors make it easier to drink enough water throughout the day, helping him stay full and energized. Plus, he's not reaching for sugary drinks when he wants something tasty. Creating your own infused water is like crafting a low-calorie cocktail that keeps giving back. Each sip is refreshing and helps flush your system, aiding in digestion and fat metabolism. Mike finds that this small change has a big impact on his overall fluid intake and weight loss efforts. And the beauty of infused waters? You can mix and match flavors based on what you love or what's in season. It's hydration with a personal touch, keeping your water intake far from mundane. Feeling refreshed? Perfect. Let's keep up the momentum and move on to tip number 9, where we'll explore how a little planning goes a long way in keeping those cravings in check. What, Larson? Meal planning. It's not just a buzzword, it's a powerful tool to avoid dietary pitfalls and keep your belly fat in check. Mike decides to take control over his diet by planning his meals for the week every Sunday. This isn't about strict schedules, but about preparing in advance to make healthy eating effortless during the busy weekdays. With his fridge stocked with pre-portioned homemade meals, Mike finds it easier to resist the temptation of fast food on hectic days. Each container is a mix of protein, fiber, and healthy fats, designed to satisfy without the surplus calories. The challenge of midweek takeouts becomes a thing of the past. Meal prep can seem daunting at first, but Mike learns it's mostly about smart shortcuts. Roasting a batch of chicken breasts, steaming vegetables, and cooking a large pot of bone broth at once can save you hours over the week and keep you on track without stress. And remember, the key here is flexibility. Plan for variety and allow yourself to swap things around as you like. Mike keeps it interesting by adding different spices and seasonings to mix things up. It's about making the healthy choice the easy choice. Now that our meals are sorted and stress-free, let's step into tip number 10, where we bring in a little digital help to keep us honest and motivated. Let's talk about how tech can be your ally in the fight against belly fat. In today's world, there is an app for just about everything, and that includes helping you manage your weight. Mike, always somewhat tech-savvy, decides to harness the power of technology. He downloads a couple of apps to track his meals and monitor his physical activities. It's like having a personal coach in his pocket, one that reminds him to move more and eat better. With his activities logged and food tracked, Mike gains insights into his habits that he wasn't fully aware of before. The apps help him identify when he's likely to snack unnecessarily and encourage him to hit his daily step goals. This real-time feedback keeps him motivated and accountable. Using these tools, Mike not only tracks what he eats, but also sets and follows through on fitness goals. It's not about obsessing over every calorie, but about understanding patterns and making adjustments. For Mike, it's a game changer, turning his good intentions into tangible results. Remember, Dad Warriors, technology is here to assist, not nerdify. Start simple with one app and build your way up as you get comfortable. It's about enhancing your journey, not complicating it. Feeling tech savvy? Great. Let's keep up this momentum and explore tip number 11, where we'll focus on getting enough shut-eye to let your body recover and burn fat. The power of sleep. It's not just about recharging your batteries. Getting enough shut-eye is crucial for regulating hormones that control appetite and fat storage. Mike begins to understand that his late-night TV binges are doing more than just making him tired. They're throwing off his body's natural rhythms, leading to overeating and sluggish mornings. He makes a conscious effort to improve his sleep hygiene. This means no more caffeine late in the day, turning off screens an hour before bed, and sticking to a consistent bedtime. The results? Mike feels more rested, his cravings decrease, and his workouts become more effective. Improving sleep can seem like a daunting task, especially with a busy dad's schedule. But Mike finds that even small changes, like reducing room temperature and using white noise, significantly boost his sleep quality. Good sleep isn't a luxury, Dad Warriors, it's a necessity. When you rest well, your body maintains the hormonal balance necessary for fat loss and muscle recovery. For Mike, better sleep leads to better days, and yes, a noticeably smaller waistline. Before we get to our last tip, make sure to check out that link in the description for my best recommendation when it comes to losing weight fast. Now that we're all set to catch some quality Z's, let's move on to our final tip, tip number 12, where we'll talk about maintaining consistency with your new healthy habits Maintain consistency. It's the key to turning short-term gains into long-term success. Mike realizes that the true challenge isn't starting these health habits, but keeping them going. He sets small, reachable goals to keep himself motivated, and creates routines that fit into his daily life. Sticking to his new habits day after day, Mike finds that they gradually become second nature. He no longer craves sugary snacks as much and finds joy in his healthier choices. Even when life throws curveballs, he has the tools to stay on track. Consistency isn't about perfection. It's about making better choices more often. For Mike, it's about the cumulative effect of daily disciplines that add up to significant changes, not just in his waistline, but in his overall health and happiness. Remember, Dad Warriors, every day you stick with your goals, you're building a stronger, healthier you. It's about progress, not perfection. So there you have it, 12 practical tips to help you lose that belly fat and keep it off. From eating right and staying active to getting enough sleep and maintaining consistency, it's all about creating a lifestyle that supports your health and well-being. Mike's journey shows us that with the right approach, you can transform your body and your life without giving up the joys of being a dad. And remember, it's not about the quick fixes. It's about making sustainable changes that last a lifetime. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update from Biohack Dad. Share your progress, challenges, or any questions you have in the comments below. We're here to support each other on this journey. Thanks for watching, Dad Warriors. Keep pushing forward, stay consistent, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll tackle more ways to hack your health and fitness. Until then, stay strong and keep those dad jokes coming.